So what does an instructional coach do? Once again, if you're new to the Ed Family channel, we love to focus on the vision of supporting our students with and finding out what they're good at so that they can do good with it. And an instructional coach plays a key role in that process. So what exactly does an instructional coach do? Now, an instructional coach may look different in different places, but for myself, I have about 3 periods where I can focus on this particular role. And the first thing I think I am is I feel like I'm a lead learner. As a lead learner, I'm constantly learning and growing and applying what it is that I'm learning and growing into my instruction. So if you look at my Ed Family channel, oftentimes I'm sharing about what it is that I'm learning about. I'm not saying that I know the most or I'm the most capable, but one thing that I feel like I am is I'm the lead learner where I can have the opportunity to learn from so many others, apply it to my own practice, and then share out with others as well. A big part of my day is maybe even informal, where I check in with teachers. Oftentimes, teachers are very capable with what it is that they're doing, but I think everyone likes a check-in. Like, hey, how are you doing? Just want to check in, see if everything's okay, or just check in and see how things are going. Another question I like to ask is, what is your greatest need? Because I think as educators, we all have needs. And so just knowing and having your needs heard, that's very powerful. What is your greatest need? And is there anything that I can do to support you? So just those informal check-ins. I only have 3 periods a day, so I might actually phone call a good number of teachers, and then for the others, have an opportunity to email as well. Another role that I have is the support of new teachers. So every year, our family is growing. So we have teachers retiring, teachers moving on to other opportunities. And so there's always an influx of new family members. So I consider one of my roles as a support for our new folks. And I try to keep and follow up with them, even though they're not brand new, continuing to follow up with teachers that I have made a connection with. Another component of my work as an instructional coach is looking at promising practices. What's working in schools? So oftentimes what I'll do is, as I work with teachers, once again, I talked about that check-in where I ask, like, what is your greatest need? Another question I might ask is, what's going really well that you think might be beneficial for others? And so oftentimes that leads to a great dialogue, which will then become a promising practice that will be beneficial to others. And I'll document through that through what I call a family supporting family tip, which can then be used in trainings or support for another. Another role that I have is something called reflective learning walks. And so in this particular role, I have the opportunity to lead a small group of teachers, maybe about 8 of us around, where we actually go into different classrooms that trust has been developed in our schools for teachers to go into one another's teachers' classrooms. Once again, this is not a place where we would judge or evaluate another teacher. It's simply to observe what's happening so that we can then reflect upon our own practice, which is the key point. So as you go into the classroom and see different things happening, you're thinking about yourself and you're thinking about your own practice. So leading those reflective learning walks, and there's a number of them throughout the year. Also, as an instructional coach, I also often have the opportunity to lead communities of practice. Sometimes these are called professional learning communities as well. And so whether it's a different focus area or grade level team or department, I find myself, whether or not it is that I'm leading or not, oftentimes supporting the leader. And I see that as one of the key roles of an instructional coach, to build that instructional capacity and that leadership capacity in others as I'm also growing it myself. I also get to work with administration and the leadership team to help guide the vision and purpose of the school, designing PD, implementing PD, professional development. And then lastly, I'm fortunate to work in a district where I get to work with some of the best teachers in the nation, I'm sure. And so they're also called 5Cs coaches and instructional coach at their own sites. And we train together. So it's like Top Gun, where I get to learn from them, you know, some of the great things that are happening, great ideas that I can bring back to my campus and begin with myself once again as a lead learner. And I feel so privileged to be in this role once again, because first of all, I get to learn so much as the lead learner, but also if I've learned something, then supporting another, which is really also in line with the vision for Ed Family. Helping our students find out what they're good at so that they can do good with it. When I can support teachers with this good work, it's also supporting students and making a difference that way.